This is vetiver grass. It is used in high erosion areas for erosion protection. It is also used for fodder. It's used for feed, and it is an extremely fast growing grass. Matter of fact, these were at least 6 feet tall each, and they go wide. We just had these cut. They're a great landscape feature, but you need space for them. So this little area here is where we have our citrus, and you can see our citrus is struggling to develop. We've got a lemon tree that's been there for a while and is doing all right. These other plants are struggling to catch up because they don't get enough sun in the summer. The vetiver grows so quickly that, you know, it gets as tall as the wall there and smothers these plants. They can't get enough light. So if you need a plant to get smothered, it's a great thing to plant close to other trees. But if you don't need your young tree smothered, you're not trying to create some type of microclimate for them, then I would avoid planting these close. In fact, we're going to be swapping out these vetiver grasses in the spring for lemongrass, because lemongrass will do really well along this wall. This is the south side of our house, and the south side of our house is a nice warm spot. We have the concrete here, which also acts as a little bit of a heat sink, a heat storage rather, and a battery for heat overnight, which would help keep the lemongrass, which tends to die off a bit in the winter here. It'll keep it alive. So these will get swapped out. But I do plan on, when I remove these, creating a bunch of slips for people, because I think these things, especially in larger yards, should be all over. They're, you know, if you've got an acre or more, man, these are a wonderful thing to have to fill in, and especially if you've got animals and stuff, it's just a great feature. And they grow up really nice and tall. You don't have to cut them, but the recommendation to keep on top of them is to cut them at about 2 feet. These are slightly taller than that. You cut them at 2 feet, and these things, we could cut them 3 times during the growing season, and you just wouldn't know by you know, another month or 2 later. You just wouldn't know that you cut them, because they just grow so fast. So we have them all. We have vetiver grass all around. Again, this was meant to be a landscape feature, and we'll continue to have them as a landscape feature in areas where we have larger trees and a little more space, because this guava potentially could be pretty big. This beautiful Shangri-La mulberry is going to be, you know, pruned up so that it grows taller. So these vetiver grasses are just going to look gorgeous underneath the canopy here. And again, we've got peach trees, and we've got a mulberry here that'll get trimmed up into mulberry with a canopy. And so these vetiver grasses, we've got some trees that need to fill in here, but these vetiver grasses do a great job. They look great even when they're full size. So that's about it for vetiver grass. They're really easy to grow. They grow better when you water them. They do like to have some nitrogen, just like any grass would, so you can feed them that way if you want them to grow more. And another thing about vetiver grass is they're pretty frost tolerant. They can handle a bit of frost. They do change a little bit of color, but come out booming in the spring. They'll grow really fast in the heat. We used to have 39 of these. We pulled some of them out already in this area to give some space for walking around, because they will expand about 6 feet wide when they're fully grown. They can even get wider than that in terms of their reach, but they don't continue to propagate. They don't seed, and they do seed actually, but the seeds are not fertile. So you might see some seeds come up, but those are of no risk to you in propagating. You propagate by pulling slips. So you get down there and you cut pieces off, and each one of these can be a slip and can be grown and will turn into, you know, a full size, you know, almost a bush of vetiver grass in one season if they're treated right. So again, this is vetiver grass, and easy to grow. I'll leave some publications on vetiver grass in the description. If you would, you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please smash the like button and subscribe. Would appreciate the follow, and let me know what you'd like next. Thanks.